3, 2, 1.
Hey
fam! Welcome back to Everyday People Potty.
So great to have you here. I'm Tanya.
And I'm Ori.
And we just wanted to come to you today and have a little chat about what we've experienced in the last week.
Yeah.
With those of you who saw our YouTube or our
Previous
social
post,
posts, you would have seen that we went away to a national ACC conference.
And we're currently still away.
Yeah, we are currently still away for leadership and pastors. And definitely another level, which was amazing. As you can see by our surroundings, we're see, this is the issue. Oh, it's still recording, is it?
We're coming to you in the car.
Yeah,
as we speak.
And we're like progression over perfection, right? And I don't even know if this is recording or not. It is.
I think it is.
It is now, providing I keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just wanted to share with you a little bit about our week and what we navigated and what transpired, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so.
And what drew us to going. I think this stops.
I think we'll never stop being curious to wanting to know what's out there for us.
Yeah.
Because we know that being stagnant is not a place we want to be. So we're choosing what uncomfortable looks for us, whether we're uncomfortable staying in the same place or we're uncomfortable in actually stepping into the new. And I guess that's what the goal was for me, was to continuously step out of what I know now to expand on what I can know. And I think it was challenging in more ways than one, if I'm honest. I love meeting new people, but it still is scary stepping out of my comfort zone to actually have conversation with others. And there are so many different ages from young to old, and it was just really good to connect with people that I don't think I usually would connect with. In terms of
exactly.
you just never know who you're gonna actually meet and know their story. So I think one of the biggest things, on the first night, he was talking about learn to listen to someone's story, learn to listen to someone else and get to know them. And that really challenged me to actually step out and be like, you know what, I need to hear someone else's story, as passionate as I am about my story. And if you know me, you know my story because I have said it. But it was really good to actually sit back and allow people to share their story and actually get to know someone and a different perspective on their life and all
there was so much. Often from that perspective, for me, I'm often listening to other. I'm more the reverse. I would listen to other people's story, and it's about me learning to share my story. So for me, I did get a lot from that, and I do understand that there are times where I probably need a reminder that I need to listen. But for me, it was the opposite. It was me learning to share my story.
Yeah.
Especially when asked, because I can easily put more focus on the other person, but being mindful that, and to know that my story does matter as well, and it could make a difference to someone else.
Yes.
But I just got to get used to sharing that, because that's not something that I often do.
Yeah.
So, and even from a connecting standpoint, I am a out there person and bubbly and stuff, but it is very foreign for me to go and meet new people. And especially even from a different level, right? Whilst we're all leaders, you can have this appearance of oh my goodness, I can't talk to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't talk to them, but knowing that we're all it's okay. We are all same.
Yeah. We all have something to contribute, and we all have something to learn from. So I think it's beautiful to embrace differences in others. And I think it's still always going to be something uncomfortable for me, because it's learning what questions to ask.
Yes.
Because you are so curious about someone and about, why they think that way, or like someone that's from a different area, I could have a different opinion on like people that come from a certain place, and then they've changed the whole, because I was curious enough to ask.
Ask the questions. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. And just being brave enough. Like, there's a couple of people that I saw that I was like, oh my god, there's so and so, like almost fangirling to a point. And then it was that realization that, hang on a minute, they're just like me. And then they're in close proximity. So it's like, you know what? I'm just going to go and say hi and see if we can strike up a conversation, and at the very least say hi to them.
And I tell you what, you really stretched me and pushed me to get out of my comfort zone, because
Oh, wow.
you're like, there's that person, I want to go say hi.
Yeah.
And obviously I had confidence in saying hi to people I knew. So
Yes.
it was all well and truly good, but you were like drawn to people you didn't know and were like, oh my God, so-and-so. And I was like,
yeah.
and that's why I was like, what would we say?
Yeah.
You know? And so she's like, no, it'll be all good. And I thought, you know what? I need to stop doubting myself. Let's go over there. Naturally, we'll just, start a conversation. And literally, that's what happened. We went over
Wow,
there
that's
and we
funny.
started a conversation. So
And
you
even me
really
saying-
pushed me out of my comfort zone to actually meet new people in that way.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool, because the funny thing about that is, like, yes, I did say it's all good, but at the same time, I truly had no idea. I was like,
But
we'll
it was your
figure it out.
curiosity.
Yeah, it was.
Your curiosity
It was.
actually rose above fear.
Yeah.
To actually want to connect, and that's what drew you to be like, I'm curious, let's
Yeah.
do this. And like I said, it really pushed me, and I was like, oh, so I kind of followed along, and it was like, you know what, if you're going to embrace this, I am too. So stronger together, we always say that. Yeah.
And even, like, because you knew people, but I didn't know them. So I
Yeah.
was like, but which then encouraged me to be like, oh, well, I can just be in this conversation
Yeah,
too, and it's
yeah.
okay. And I think for me that the connections and the conversations were, it was phenomenal. Like, I think that made conference for me.
I was going to say,
The
it actually
word-
created more depth.
Oh,
Because although we went to conference and we took so much from it, to actually connect with people really solidified such a deeper connection to the actual conference itself, because
yes, I would agree with
we
you.
actually
100% on that.
were meeting new people.
Yeah.
And those were like, there was a new connection. We went out for dinner one night, and there was this restaurant that we go to that's just phenomenal. I love Turkish food, and I was like, let's get on board, let's go eat Turkish food there. It was like our third night in a row, I think. Lol.
Yeah, well, like, yeah.
And so, I mean, by the end of the night, I was like, oh my gosh, it was a lot. Let's just, sit down and enjoy each other's company and just unpack what happened. Then, like, obviously people started, someone was already sitting next to us within really close proximity, and the other table as well. So I was thinking,
Yeah, there was,
oh my
eh?
goodness, like, I'm not going to be able to, like, actually
Be.
unpack and be. But it actually turned out to be such a great night. I thought, you know what, that's okay. This is an opportunity to connect with people. And we met a great couple that was sitting next to us. And I think, she was curious too, like, kind of.
Yes, because we had those books, and she was like, can I have a look at the books?
Yeah, so
And-
she was back and forth, and then we ended up just having conversation. And from then on, they were able to hear about, our story and what we're doing, and within this podcast and stuff, that they actually donated and was like, look, we want to bless you guys with some money
That was
and
phenomenal.
put this towards what you guys are doing, which was such a special moment.
It was, like
Like,
we were so
Tanya got so teary, and it was so beautiful to see. But it's like, I was like, wow, if we didn't have that connection with someone
Yeah.
and that conversation, like, they wouldn't know. And it's kind of like, it's really us spreading more awareness with, like, us really wanting to step out in community and have conversations and connect with people. So then there are deeper levels of friendships that are formed, and
100%.
connections. Yeah.
And that's something that we're quite excited about. Stay tuned for the next few podcasts, because we're actually going to be having conversations and connecting with other people in the community, and just
Yes.
hearing about their story and what they're willing to share, like where they're going and what got them to doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And just learning more, getting curious about other people, and
Yeah.
that are in our community that are doing good things, and
Yes.
a lot of us probably don't even unaware of it,
Well,
right?
that's right. If we weren't curious enough to actually have these conversations, we wouldn't have no idea what's happening in our community and the actual, length these people are going to actually, what's the word, to put their lives aside, so to speak, to actually invest in community and give their time. And obviously it's their job, but at the same time, it takes the right person to work in those kind of positions to help people who need, who need stability, who need family, who need support, who need guidance, all the things.
And there are people that are doing it voluntarily too.
Yeah.
So there are people that are working in it,
Yeah.
but there are people that are doing voluntarily. Back to the heart of what we're everyday people. So we're going to have conversations with everyday people.
Yeah.
Yes, they may work in those fields, but some don't. So,
and it's also good to get a perspective on what it's like and to actually work in community for community.
Yeah.
I think that'll be interesting for us to unpack. I'm quite curious to sort of see how that conversation goes and excited because, our town needs to know what there is out there to offer and what people they can sort of turn to actually start connection somewhere.
Which I think is super important. And to know that, again, they're also everyday people.
Yeah. They really are.
That are wanting to see a need. They see a need, and they're actually fulfilling that need, I suppose.
Yeah, and
for
let's
others.
be real. It's like dropping labels.
Oh,
we may have, Tanya may wear a few hats and all that, but she doesn't identify as the things that she does.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that we love is we're all equal in a way. We all got a part to play.
Yeah.
And we are stronger together. So this is all about bringing all of us together, and we all have our story to share, and that'll inspire someone.
Yeah.
So bring on the next series of Community. Cannot wait to share that.
Yeah, looking forward to how that's gonna unravel.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a few things happening within the weeks ahead. You're stepping out as well, doing your makeup event, which I think is pretty awesome.
Yes, I really am excited to be sharing techniques and all the things to our community of our women as well, because I think it's so important to learn basic skills on how to present yourself. And we already know it's not all about the looks, but it is important to show up for yourself in those ways of caring for you
and making you feel good,
and making
right?
you feel good as well. So
I think it's important that we have the ability to just be natural and comfortable in our own skin, where we don't have to wear makeup or anything like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to be able to learn a new skill that when we want to feel good, that we can, and it can be simple, it can be affordable, and it's within reach of the everyday person.
Yeah.
Whereas I know for me, I could have looked, and I have looked up at yourself and others where it's like, oh my God, I don't think I could do that because it looks way too
complicated,
and there's all these products and it's like, oh my Lord, whereas you're giving people the opportunity to get curious and hey, it can be quite simple.
And just have fun as well.
And have fun with it. And just to be, and then again, feel good. Because I think it's our responsibility as individuals to feel good. Again, by what we eat, what we fuel our body with, how we present ourselves, moving our body. That is all our responsibility. It's no one else's.
Yeah.
We have to be accountable for that.
And we need to be the ones to actually just take a step.
And then learn. So, okay, what do we need to do to make that happen? To learn, to grow, to expand. So,
and if you don't know the answers to that, that is why it's important to connect to someone that can help you, guide you along the way with actually unpacking, what that next step to growing in your life could look like.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you for joining us today. So awesome to have you here.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.